You're watching a Senate hearing on safety issues at Boeing, where a whistleblower is testifying about what he calls the company's broken safety culture. We heard from Senator Richard Blumenthal there, who is calling for the DOJ to weigh in and investigate on if prosecution is warranted. We also heard from Republican Senator Ron Johnson, who talked about the American people should be able to fly with confidence. He also echoed some sentiments that we've heard from senators across the board that we need Boeing to succeed here. I want to bring back in ABC's Jay O'Brien on Capitol Hill, along with transportation reporter Sam Sweeney for more. Sam, before we dive into what we've heard on this morning's hearing, I want to get some more breaking news on the aviation front. Right now, all Alaska Airlines planes are grounded.
Yeah, we've just heard from the FAA that Alaska Airlines asked the FAA to issue a nationwide ground stop. Now, Alaska Airlines telling us this is because of a computer upgrade that happened this morning, around 7:50 this morning, with their weight and balance system. You need weight and balance to correctly dispatch an aircraft, and without that, they cannot take off. So they need to figure that out. They say they are working on it, but they do not have an updated time of when those planes will be able to get back into the air. It is worth noting that any Alaska Airlines plane that was already in the air is able to continue safely to its destination.
Okay, Sam, well, thank you for keeping us updated on that. And so I want to pivot back to this hearing. I'm curious, what has stood out to you so far from the whistleblower's testimony?
Look, this is a man who works at Boeing, currently works at Boeing, and is coming up with some serious allegations about how this aircraft is built. And he believes that this plane could fall apart because of the way it is constructed and the forces that they are using. He's also bringing up serious allegations that we've heard from other Boeing employees that his concerns were not taken seriously. Boeing is already putting out statements saying that what he is saying is inaccurate, that he does not have all of the data, and that they take all employee concerns seriously. They get about 400 per month. Well, they are getting 400 per month since the Alaska door blowout. That is way more than they used to get. They used to get 400 in an entire year. They go through each and every one of them at the executive level, and then they issue a report that can be seen by that employee. And if the employees don't feel comfortable, they can go directly to the FAA.
Well, and Jay, senators are calling on Boeing to make changes to improve safety. But I'm curious, how much power does Congress have to ensure that this actually happens?
Well, you're looking a little bit at that power being wielded now, Alex, because having this hearing, making these allegations public, doing it on camera, is something that we know that Senator Richard Blumenthal, who is running this subcommittee, wanted to do. He's made that very clear. He's had this investigation running for months. He's also invited the Boeing CEO to testify before this committee as well, in order to say, as he views it, to put these allegations out into the public. Blumenthal has been clear. He believes, as he said before, I'll quote him directly, that Boeing, quote, continues to disregard safety and quality and put profits over everything else. That's allegation from Blumenthal, who is again running this investigation. So to your point, one element of the power Congress has here is to hold a hearing like this. They also have regulatory authority over Boeing if they wanted to pass a law, which is a long process, but also over the FAA, which governs, obviously, oversight over how these airplanes are manufactured. So you can imagine, while Boeing is getting scrutiny, that the FAA is going to get some scrutiny as well as lawmakers continue this investigation.
And Sam, one of the things that we had been talking about leading up to this hearing is the evidence, or rather lack thereof. And so with the senators pressing forward with their questioning, do you expect them to drill in on whether or not there is a paper trail? Are there documents? Are there emails that this witness could share potentially?
I mean, of course, that is all part of this process, and you can make allegations, but you really do need to back them up. And, his lawyers say that they do have this paperwork and that the committee has it. The question is, will it be released to the public? The FAA, it comes down to the FAA. They are sending investigators to Boeing to look into these allegations. And the onus is on them. Will they tell the traveling public, are these planes safe? When will they do that? When will they figure that out? This is a little bit different than what we've seen with other Boeing issues in that the 787 has been under the microscope. They stopped deliveries for nearly 2 years. They realized there was problems in 2020, and then they began looking at them thoroughly. Thousands of engineers spending thousands of hours, and $6 billion it cost the company to do this, to come up with solutions and to figure out if this plane were safe. They did make some changes. They put some new tools on the production line, state-of-the-art tools that will determine how the fuselage will age over time. And they insist that there is no issue. They did a test where they banged on the aircraft, simulating a takeoff and a landing, and the pressurization of an aircraft 165,000 times. The oldest 787 in service right now only has 16,000 flights. And when they did the 165,000 test, they found no issue. That is 3 times longer than they expect any 787 to be in service over its lifespan.
Jay O'Brien and Sam Sweeney, a lot to keep track of, but thank you guys for sticking with us.